I'm Jennifer Friedenbach, Director of the Coalition on Homelessness, and I wanted to really thank you for having this forum. I think it's really exactly what we'd like to see our police department doing, and I know you do go into communities and have community forums, and really hopeful that this will be a listening session for you all in terms of gathering perspectives. And one of the things I wanted to point out, and I do a lot of this work and organize public hearings, and one of the things I find policymakers doing on a regular basis is if the audience is of a different perspective, there's constantly this sort of discounting it of being one particular group that's going back and back and back and keep speaking. And I just want to kind of point out and ask you to really look around the room and look at the variety of people who are represented here that are speaking out against tasers. And I think you see people of a variety of class backgrounds, of race backgrounds. There's many different neighborhoods represented here, several different community-based organizations, all very concerned about the proposal to arm CIT officers with tasers. I myself have been involved with what was formerly known as the Police Crisis Intervention program that's now known as the Crisis Intervention Team, and have been very actively involved in that all along, from its very inception back when it was PCI. And I'm really, really excited about this opportunity that San Francisco has to fully implement a program. And I think it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot more than what has happened so far. It's going to take a lot of leadership, and sometimes this is what happens. We go through our processes of social change, and it doesn't necessarily happen very quickly. But it is a very dramatic shift in the way police officers would approach someone, and it takes a lot of leadership to really kind of get everyone embraced, to get the officers who sign up to have that prestigious role, so they're seen as people who are on this prestigious team. And we're not, as was pointed out, we're not quite there yet, and I think we can get there. I really do think we can. And I think it's going to take a tremendous amount of work to get there, because it goes so much farther than the training. The training is really only a very small piece of the puzzle. The crisis intervention team is really about having a team, having the proper 911 responses, having the supervisor on site, that constant review, the organizing ahead of time about how people are going to respond. And it takes a lot of time, both on the scene, but also a lot of prep time to make it happen. And so what my concern is, and I think that a lot of us share this, is that this introduction of tasers to the crisis intervention team, which is supposed to be verbally de-escalating folks and talking them down, and then introducing a weapon to that team, is really a big slap in the face. And when I heard it, actually, at first, I didn't believe it. I really, I had to go back and check a couple different times, because my staff, Bob Offer Westhort, who was working on this, and we wrote some stories on it, I kept crossing out the CIT part. I was like, are you sure that's what they're proposing? That just doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? And it took, I mean, he had to actually pull out the paper, show it to me in writing. Yes, they're actually having the CIT officers using the tasers. It just blows the program away. It sends from with all respect, it sends an opposite message in terms of the leadership needed to do CIT, in terms of the officers around really taking the time to de-escalate verbally these situations. And yeah, some of them are going to be bladed situations. And I'm not convinced that, and I don't think the data shows at all, in terms of the Taser International funded studies, shows at all that police officers are actually replacing guns with the use of tasers in those situations. And so we have this, these things going on where it would destroy our efforts to try to implement CIT. It would, and then it's flying in the face of the data in terms of a weapon that's not able to be used in replacement of a gun. And so I'm really hoping that that everyone here keeps an open mind, that really truly listens to what folks are saying and what folks' concerns are, and really works collaboratively with community to fully implement CIT as an alternative to using tasers, so we can get exactly, I think our end goals are the same. We want safer police officers, That's super important, and we want, you know, situations where people who are being apprehended by the police, etc., aren't getting hurt either. And I think we all honestly share those goals. So I hope we can get there by fully implementing CIT instead of using tasers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Friedenbach.